Nestled in the heart of Gahanna, Ohio, the Ohio Herb Center offers a unique blend of history, education, and natural beauty. This charming destination is more than just a place to learn about herbs. It's a journey into the past and a celebration of nature's gifts. The Ohio Herb Center is located in the 185-year-old Nafziger Miller House, a piece of history that connects Gahanna's rich past with its vibrant present. Originally a family home, this historic landmark now serves as a hub for herbal education and exploration. Inside, you'll find a treasure trove of herbal knowledge. The center offers a wide range of classes and workshops, from creating herbal teas and salves to learning how to grow and use herbs in everyday life. Whether you're a seasoned gardener or just starting to explore the world of herbs, there's something here for everyone. The Ohio Herb Center also serves as a community space, hosting events like herb walks, lectures, hands-on activities, and the annual Herb Day celebration, which brings people together to connect with nature and each other. Oh, and don't forget to stop by their shop, where you can find handcrafted herbal products, books, and gifts, perfect for everyone who uses and loves natural remedies and sustainable living. The Ohio Herb Center is a hidden gem in Gahanna, offering a delightful mix of history, community, and education. Whether you're looking to learn, shop, or simply enjoy the calming sense of nature, this is a place you won't want to miss.
Hello everyone, I'm here with Amanda Ferguson, coordinator of the Ohio Herb Center in Gahanna, Ohio. Amanda, thank you so much for spending some time with us today.
You're welcome, Kenneth. Happy to do it.
Thank you. I'm hoping that you would be able to tell me a little bit more about the Herb Center and what its mission is.
So the Herb Center was founded because Gahanna is the herb capital of Ohio, but it was founded as kind of the flagship for Gahanna to promote our herb capital status, and our mission is really just to promote and teach about the multitudes of uses of herbs, historically, modern. I like to say it was founded by a lot of women who preferred culinary tea, which it is as easy as tea, right? But as we moved into modern days, a lot of the people who worked here were younger herbalists who were doing a little bit different things than their predecessors. And so we've kind of progressed into modern day herbalism.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And so how do you, on a daily basis, accomplish or fulfill that mission?
On a daily basis, we are running classes year-round, January through December. We are running classes. We probably teach about, I think in the month of May we will have 5 or 6 classes alone. So every month we are teaching. We have people from all over the state of Ohio, other states, bordering states, Indiana, Kentucky, Pennsylvania, sometimes Illinois, Michigan, coming in to take classes here. So that's our primary way to do that outreach we provide. So I know this month alone we have a group of 75 8th graders from a local middle school coming in who are going to learn about why Gahanna is the herb capital of Ohio, who we are and what we do. So they're going to become new little herbies. So that's another way that we do that. We do outreach events. We've gone to Wild Ohio Weekends at the Ohio History Center, Pollinator Palooza at Franklin Park Conservatory, and then we also have tour groups. We are part of our Destination Visitors Convention Bureau, and so when we have tour groups coming into Gahanna, a lot of times they want something herb related, and so we do host tour groups here. I have had groups in this old house. We have had groups of up to 100 people in here that will break down into a little bit smaller groups, run them through different sections of the workshops, a lecture, a hands-on, a garden tour, a history tour.
And so I know that your title is coordinator, but can you tell me a little bit more about what that entails? I'm sure it's a coordinator of chaos.
Coordinator of chaos, herbal chaos,
Herbal
right?
chaos.
So primarily what I do here is I curate our classes, so pulling in what programming we're going to do, who are the guest instructors we are going to have. A lot of times they reach out to me and they want to come and teach. I have instructors coming from all the way at Lake Erie in Gahanna, Ohio. They're coming down to teach here. And so I work on the programming. I also help assist with our products that we have in our gift shop. We have some local artisans who consign with us, but I'm also kind of like the point person. Anyone who wants to have like that first contact, and I get a lot of requests from people who are just starting in. On a daily basis, we have people walking in. I want to start using herbs. I've quit medication. I want to start using herbs. What herb can I use for this? And there are no clinical herbalists at the Ohio Herb Center. So, we direct them on to the places they need to go. Give them the resources, and that's really what I think about us as. In Central Ohio, we are an herbal education resource, whether people want to take a class or whether they just want to explore using herbs on a regular basis for health and wellness.
I understand that we talked about this a little earlier. Gahanna, Ohio is the herb capital of Ohio. How did it get that designation?
So there is a lady, I call her our founder emeritus. Her name was Bunny Giroux.
I have an Aunt Bunny.
Bunny was a force to be reckoned with. She was, and I have an amazing display that I would love for you to get some captions of. And Bunny, along with the herb ladies, and this was a group of women in the 70s who were part of our historical society in Gahanna, and they also in the 70s were these women who were doing not so typical things women were doing at that time. So Bunny Giroux, her real name was Jane, but everyone knew her as Bunny.
My aunt's Edna Merla. So
okay.
I understand the Bunny part.
Yes, so Bunny was on City Council of Gahanna in the 70s. Her daughter told me at her funeral in 2019 that she had pictures of her mother in rooms filled with men, and she was the only woman there. There were women like Lucy Seeds, who was the first Parks and Recreation Director for the city of Gahanna in the 70s, and she has a claim to fame. Her claim to fame is that her mother was Granny Gatewood. Her mother was the first woman to hike the Appalachian Trail solo. So she actually saved one of the few remaining buttonbush swamps here in Central Ohio at Gahanna Woods, and it's now a state nature preserve. And she saved it from development by Columbia Gas. So we had these women, Trudy Miller, Ruth Rockenstein, who were touring around. They were going through the historical society. They were educating people about culinary and tea, primarily those uses for herbs. And, talking a little bit about the medicinal properties, but they just loved herb gardening. And so in 1972, Bunny Giroux went and advocated to the state legislature. She filled out all the paperwork. Being a politician, I'm sure she knew how to do that, and advocated for Gahanna to become this herb capital of Ohio.
So is that the first place that had ever been designated as the herb capital?
Yes.
Okay, so it was something that was created at that moment.
So
it wasn't wrestled
right. So in the
state
70s,
capital.
in the 70s, a lot of local communities were looking for a way to market themselves. Pickerington's the violet capital. Why is that? I have no idea. I know why Reynoldsburg is the tomato capital of Ohio.
Please enlighten me at some point,
Oh,
because
yes, absolutely.
I understood that there was a tomato festival.
There is a tomato festival,
yes.
but there was a man who actually created the genetic profile for the modern day tomato.
Okay.
He was a farmer there. So yes, Brownsburg being the tomato. So those towns, they were looking for a way to put their stamp on the map. They were looking for a way to market themselves, and that is what Gahanna stuck with. So they received their designation in 1972, and in 2022 we celebrated 50 years as the herb capital of Ohio. So this year is 52. It's a long time, and I like to say, you know, lots of people who have worked here, it's like, well, these women, what were they doing? I love that I get to talk about them on a daily basis. They were doing things that women of their time were not doing. And if there is one thing we know, is that the tenacity of herbal educated women, it is there. And so I love to promote what they did, let their legacy live on. So, yeah.
So I noticed the building that houses the Herb Center is really, really beautiful, both inside and out, and it's designed really well. Is it historic?
It is. This building is actually on the National Register of Historic Landmarks. It is called the Knapsker Miller House.
Okay.
The original portion of the house was built in 1855, and this, where we're sitting right now on this back porch, with the lovely bird and a little bit of sprinkling rain, but the beautiful nature sounds in downtown Gahanna. This was actually added on in 1910.
Oh, really?
Yes. The third owner of the house, Isaac Miller, purchased it for $850. Yes. And his daughter, or granddaughter, his granddaughter, actually was the last living Miller heir to live here. And she lived here until she couldn't anymore. Houses built in 1855 are not ADA compliant. The stairs are super steep and narrow. She moved next door, and that house, I think, is a 1915, 1920 house. And so she moved next door, so she always stayed nearby. This was where her heart was. And her name was Mary Miller Patton, and she applied and filled out all of the paperwork to put it on the National Register of Historic Landmarks.
Excellent. So it should be preserved.
It should be
beautiful.
preserved.
It's a beautiful house.
It is a beautiful house, and Mary herself was another force to be reckoned with. She was the first female insurance agent in the state of Ohio and was part of the Century Club. And these were people who traveled all over the world. I think by the time she had died at 102, she had traveled,
you said for herbs
right?
and longevity.
Yes, that's what I said. But she had traveled to almost every continent on the planet.
Wow.
Yes.
I feel sad and like a schlump. I've only gone to
Right.
3 or 4.
One of the last things she did is she went to Iraq and went to the Babylonian festival.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's excellent.
Nice.
Power of women.
Power of women.
So how can people learn more about the important work that's done here at the Herb Center?
So there are many ways that people can get connected with us. You can visit our website, and you can sign up for our newsletter. We send out a monthly newsletter that kind of gives you a brief synopsis of what we're doing for that month, classes that are being held, unique things, offerings that we will have. Sometimes there's free outreach. Sometimes we have garden cleanup days. So if you want to get your hands in the dirt, you can come and join us. For people who don't have garden access, it's a great therapeutic way to get out into the garden and get your hands on some plants. We even let people harvest from our gardens. We have a class called Harvest Days, and they can come and harvest their own bouquet de garden of herbs. And so that's
so if you're making stock.
Yes,
you need
absolutely, absolutely. So that's one way. We're on Facebook and Instagram and normal social media channels, and so
it's ohioherbcenter.org.
.org, and we have memberships, and our members actually get to order their herbs from our Herb Day plant sale in advance, and so we curate the list of plants that are going to be sold. We send it out to our members, and they send us back the list of plants they want. We pull all the herbs, and we put them in a box. They get to come and pick it up here. They don't have to deal with the throngs of people.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
Garnering for their herbs at Herb Day, and they get a little swag bag.
Nice.
We treat our members well, and they get first registration for all classes. So they get a preview of all classes before they're released to the public to register, which is a great way, because this year alone, from January to April, we were completely sold out in classes. So,
That's good news.
yes,
That's a good problem to have.
it is a good problem to have.
So, one final question before we sort of wrap this up.
Sure.
If I'm going to be asking this of a lot of people, because I know I have some in my head, but I always ask other people, what is the one herb that you think that everybody should grow and or should consume in one way, shape, or form, culinarily or medicinally, that would help the vast majority of people?
So I think a lot of the culinary herbs are underrated. It's hard for me to pick one. It's like picking my favorite kid, right? But the one that I really truly do love as a pollinator advocate and amateur lepidopterist, I love bronze fennel. I love bronze fennel. The bulbs you really can't use unless you don't ever want to see the plant again. So I leave mine in the ground, but the seeds are where it's at. Now you can snip the fronds and throw that into a salad, but the seeds are amazing. You can powder them. I love to make a tea, which you can drink if you have any sort of digestive upset, which is great for that, but also it's great as a mouthwash.
Okay.
So you can use it as a mouthwash. Now I know some people probably do not like licorice flavor, and if you are one of those people, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, because I love
Yes,
licorice.
right. It's such a great flavor. And it's also one of our really good Ayurvedic herbs that we can use for digestive purposes, you know. And so I love bronze fennel. It also supports black swallowtail butterflies, which are my favorite butterfly. So I, in 1 year, raised and released 60 black swallowtail butterflies.
Excellent. And so do they cocoon on the bronze fennel as well?
They do not. They actually, after they've eaten enough, and they know that it usually takes about 7 to 10 days for them to eat everything they need to eat. I've watched them from egg form all the way through I think they go through 6 or 7 instars, which is metamorphoses. And so they go from egg to a really tiny little caterpillar, and then they just get bigger and bigger. Not that big, but, you know, that big.
That would be fun.
It would. But after they've gone through that, they take a little walk. And this is to relieve themselves of any excess waste. And then once they do that, they will chrysalis. They are actually part of they're like a silk butterfly. When they spin, they have a silk that they do, and they actually lean back. It looks like they're in a hammock. It looks like
They
they're
create
in
a silk hammock for themselves?
Yes, they do, and they just kind of lean back in their little chrysalis pod, and it takes about a week to 10 days, and then you have the most beautiful butterfly. I have been watching them here at the Ohio Herb Center. They've been laying on our roof. I've seen 2 black swallowtail butterflies already this season.
I have tons of it. It's spreading in my garden.
Yep.
So I'm so happy about it.
Yeah, so they're laying on the roof here, but they'll start to lay on the bronze fennel once it gets a little bit bigger, and we'll start to notice that. And I've seen them crawling on our handrails and everything. So
hopefully there'll be a great crop of them this year.
Yes, hopefully.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time today. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
I want everyone to know about herbs and to love them as much as I do, and obviously that you do.
Right.
So visit the Ohio Herb Center every day, Monday through Friday from 10 until 6. And then what are the hours on the weekend?
On Saturday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
And the address is?
110 Mill Street. It's right across from Creekside in Gahanna, Ohio. And if you'd like to give us a call, it's 614-642-4372.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kenneth.